Hi everyone, this video is for those who would like to learn how to read a loom pattern. This pattern is specifically going to be for a scarf. So let's get right into it. All right, so I'm sharing my pattern with you all on the screen, and you'll notice that the first step is the slip knot. So I cover this in the Loom Knit workshop video. So slip knot, usually that's spelled out, but if you happen to see SK, that means slip knot. So all of your projects that you do on a loom must begin with a slip knot. So let's keep on scrolling down to the actual pattern. And over on the left-hand side, we have some details at the top about the scarf. So the scarf is a 50-inch scarf that's in the photo on the pattern. The size yarn that I'm using is a size 4. This is going to be your standard size yarn. This is a medium weight yarn. And this is the standard size for most of your projects that you will create on a loom. And then the type of yarn that I used was the merino wool yarn. And then we talk about the peg or the loom itself. So this is a 24 peg loom that was used to create this scarf. So there's different looms out there with different number of pegs. All you need for the scarf is a 24 peg loom. And that's going to be depending on the width and the width of the scarf that you want as well. So then at the bottom, we get into the turns. So whenever you see a K, that means that you're going to knit. So this is, I also demonstrate this in the Loom Knit workshop video. So K means knit, and then P means purl. Whenever you see a WY, that means you're working yarn. So your working yarn is the yarn coming from your yarn ball or your skein. And this is also discussed in the Loom Knit workshop video. And then abbreviation CO, whenever you see that, that means to cast off. So that means you are removing the work from the loom. Okay? All right, let's continue. All right, so I got some tips that I added here over on the right. So all I'm doing here is just explaining when you're knitting, this is your first row. So sometimes you may see R1, which means row 1. So that's your first row. So it'll probably say something like, or look something like KR1. So that means you're going to knit row 1. You're knitting the first row. And that knit row in this project anyway for our scarf is your first row. And then you'll see R2 P or PR2, which means you're purling row 2. So when you purl your row, that's going to be your second row in your project. And this pattern simply uses knit and purl rows. So all you're doing is alternating between knit and purl rows. And I discussed that and demo that in my Loom Knit workshop video. All right, let's continue down. I think that might be it. Yeah, that is it for this pattern. I talked about the CO, and that's all the information that I have in my pattern here. But if you have any other questions, if there's any other abbreviations out there that you're noticing on your patterns, then feel free to drop those questions down below, and I'll go ahead and answer those questions as well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.